Hello friends, this is Leslie here from leslievoice.com. Welcome to the Job Seekers Mastery course. We have learned about a lot of things about the tools that you use and how we can convince the recruiter to get into a interview slot and all those things we have seen. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the interview day, the important day for you, right? Let's say you're going for a dream company that you want to work. Let's say it's Google. Let's say you're scheduled for an interview at Google the next day, right? Then how do you feel it? How do you feel that you should clear this interview? All those things are there. So it's a dream company for you, and the interview is scheduled, and what to do on the previous day of the interview, on the interview day, and the next day of interview. Okay, so we're going to talk about all these things in this video. And this might be simple, but it's really, really important that you go through this video to understand what you really need to do and how to prepare for an interview, how to prepare yourself for an interview. You can prepare all technical things about your job and about your projects, etc. That's all fine. But if you really want to deliver with full confidence and want to deliver the best possible way, then yes, these are also important things that you need to do before an interview. Okay, so the first thing before an interview, you need to prepare about the company, right? You should know what the company is doing, what are the products the company has, and what's their business into, and what's their current income or revenue that they are making. So where do you learn all these things? That's the question, right? You can go to the company site and understand what kind of products, what kind of service, what they are into, etc. We can definitely learn that. And if it's a limited company, that is publicly listed company, then probably you will get a lot of news about that company, right? Or if you go to the company, there is a tab called press or news, something like that. So you can click on that and understand what is the latest happening of this company, with which company this company has signed agreement or MOU, right? And why they have signed that, or what is the recent launch of this product, or any recent launch of the product launch from this company. All these things you should know it before you go for an interview. If you really, it's a dream company, and if you really want that job, then yes, you need to do all these things, right? So you do a thorough homework about the company, understand what it is, who is the chairman, what he is doing, what are the recent changes in the organization, why they have changed, all these things, right? So how you can learn this? You can go to their website, or you can go to the news that talks about that company and learn it. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need to do. Go to Glassdoor. I have put a separate video about Glassdoor, how to use Glassdoor for your interview preparation. Please go and watch that. It's a very detailed video. But however, you can use Glassdoor to understand the culture of the company. What kind of culture is it into? What kind of people are, right? Because people who have worked in that company will give reviews in Glassdoor, which will really help you to understand what culture of the company is, which will really help you to frame your answers in the interview according to that. That's what they look for. Because if the culture is a Western culture, and if you talk about Indian culture, or if you're some other culture, then probably you might be a misfit for that organization, and the interviewer might think in the same way. So you should know what culture is it, right? So for that, you can go and read about Glassdoor reviews. Okay, so that's the second thing. Third thing, on the same day, you might be interviewed with the HR also, sometimes, not every time. So if that is the case, then you should probably prepare to answer the salary question. Even if the HR is not interviewing you, the interviewer can ask you what's your expected salary, how much do you expect? And if you put a figure, if you put a number which is beyond their budget, then probably they'll think twice of making you an offer to you, right? So you should know about the salary range. Again, in the Glassdoor video, I have talked about this. Please do watch that. Or you have the other tools like pay scale. There are a lot of tools in the market which will help you to understand what is the normal salary, industry salary for your experience and for your skill, right? So which will help you to understand what kind of salary you can expect in the next interview or next company. So basically, if you put a salary which is beyond the budget, then that's a challenge. People might rethink. If you talk about some salary which is really less than the budget, again that's a problem, right? So you should know what exactly the salary range in the company. You should actually go to do this homework and understand. This is what you need to do on the previous day for preparing for your interview, apart from your technical stuff, apart from your experience, all those things. Okay. Now, what else to do on the previous day of the interview? Keep your resume ready, printed, right? It's not in this internet age, probably it's not really required to carry a hard copy of your resume, but still there are organizations which expect you to carry the hard copy of your resume. So if you are going to one such interview, probably it's better to carry one copy of your hard copy of your resume, or at least your resume, you have it with you, right? And some companies, some tech parks, the company inside the tech park, they will allow you inside only if you have the call letter of the company, interview call letter, right? So you can either show it on your phone if you have an Android phone. Please make sure you have it ready, right? Don't go and search there at the last moment. So it's better you have it ready, or you can print it and again have it there as well. And those companies also ask for an ID card. Please keep your ID cards prepared as well, right? So that's also important. So these are the documents that you need to carry. So you can check the mail interview call letter which is sent by the recruiter. Check what are the documents they have asked for it. Please, prepare those things. And most of the people, what they do is, on the interview day morning, they iron their shirts, pants, their clothes, right? That's not a good way to do. So if you're going for a dream company tomorrow, right? Let's take all the companies that you interview for. Let's believe in dream company. It's a dream company. That's the reason you're going for an interview, right? You want a job. So if it is so, then please make sure that you keep your clothes ironed, clean, and ready, so that your mind is very clear that you are going to wear this dress. You're going to the interview tomorrow, so you have thought processes aligned to it. If it is not, then again morning you will struggle and power will go off. You will not be able to iron. You will be again get tensed. You will be demotivated. Again, it will reflect in the interview. You will not be able to clear the interview. All these things will has an interconnection, right? So it's better that you keep your dress, clothes ironed and ready for tomorrow. What shoes you are going to wear, right? Is the shoes polished or not? Please polish your shoes. That's very important. That's the first thing people notice about you. First thing people notice is your legs. And if your legs is not, your shoes are not polished, then probably that gives a bad sign to the recruiter or the interviewer, whoever might be, right? So it's important that you be prepared on these aspects as well before the interview date. Okay? Okay, let's come to the interview date. Today is the interview. You're going for the interview today. Congratulations if you're really going for the interview today, right? All the best for you. But if you're going for the interview today, and then keep yourself, your mind very clear. Eat in the morning. Be ready on time, right? That's very important. If you have planned that you'll go at this time, so make sure that you are leaving your home at that time, right? So that's one. So before that, if you're in a city like Bangalore or Chennai, you should know how much time it will take to reach that place. So it's better either on the previous day or on the interview day morning to check how much time it will take and how you're going to commute, whether it's bus or bike or car, whatever it is, right? So please have a prepared mind. If you have a prepared mind, everything goes in that thing, and you will also be able to deliver what you want to deliver in the interview, right? So it's important. So please make sure you check in Google Maps how much distance it is, how much traffic you will have, all those things you can easily check, and which route you will be taking, right? And what's the way of commuting, what mode you're going to commute, whether it's bus, bike, car, etc., right? So be prepared on it, that as well. And on the interview day, if you're going by bus, if you're taking an auto, don't fight or argue with the person whom you're traveling with. Maybe an auto driver, maybe a conductor in the bus, right? Don't go on a argue mode, debate mode, all those things. Keep your mind clear. If you're in that, then again your mind gets stressed, and you're not able to deliver what you want in the interview, right? That's very important. And then, so these are the few things that you need to really do on the interview date and the previous day of the interview. On the next day, probably if you're done with the interviews and if you feel that you're really done well, or if you don't feel also, that's fine, right? You can please come back to home and note down what are the important things about the interview. What are the opportunities that you missed in this interview? What are the questions they asked you and how you answers to those questions, right? Please make a note. This will really help you in the next interview. You can prepare these things as well, right? Write the questions that they asked and answers what you gave for it. Check whether the answers are right or wrong, right? And how better you would have been able to answer if it is more time is given, right? So those things you need to check. You need to rethink about the interview. Think about the process, how it went, what questions they asked, how well you would have, if there is more time, if you are prepared well, if you know this question before, how you would have answered better way, right? So you can prepare those things and then keep it ready, and don't just write it in some paper. Just keep a note or a diary or in your system. Keep everything clean and proper so that we can prepare in the next interview as well, right? So that's all you need to do on the previous day, interview day, and the next day. Okay. So hope you liked this video. If you liked, please do share with your friends. And if you have any questions, please do comment below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and click on the bell so that you get updates for every video that I put on here. Thank you very much.